Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Midnight Ballad for Ghost Theater, a Korean horror comedy musical from 2006. Now typically I do not like reviewing movies that are almost impossible to find nowadays, but there are a few exceptions. I usually do it around this time of year, and this movie is one such exception. I have seen a handful of musicals from various Asian countries, Dasipo Naughty Girls, Happiness of the Katakuris, Memories of Matsuko, Perhaps Love, etc. And I still think Midnight Ballad for Ghost Theater is my personal favorite. It continues to be my personal favorite even after all of these years. Now the plot follows a young girl played by Kim Kkob-bi as she searches for her grandmother, who disappears at the beginning of the film after announcing that she wants to go and see the movie she starred in when she was young. She goes to the movie theater to look for her grandmother, but stumbles upon a group of ghosts who perform musical interludes at nighttime after the theater closes. Now, one of the cool things about Midnight Ballad for Ghost Theater is that it feels like a tribute to classic horror movies. The final act in particular, which I won't spoil, showcases, I guess you could say, classic film technology, from, I would say, the 1930s. Okay, so they show a few clips of something, and it looks like what a classic film would look like from the 1930s. Basically, a film within a film, okay? And it brings with it a lot of charm as well. You could tell that Ghost Theater was made with love, and the filmmakers have their heart in the right place, and they definitely have an admiration for classic films. Now, another example of this is the actual setting of the movie. Almost the entire film takes place in this huge, haunted movie theater. Not a modern-looking building, which is good in this case. It has some pretty neat architecture, and it looks very old. There's something special about like a decrepit building with lots of creaky floors, candles, cobwebs, and even a little bit of fog outside when they show the outdoor shots. It's very gothic and old school. Another big attraction of Ghost Theater are the songs. Remember, this is a musical, and the music is of a wide variety, from like spooky dances to angry girl rock, I would call it, to like slower, gloomy tunes as well. And the lyrics and mood of each song do provide some character development as well. Now, my two favorite songs in the film are the aforementioned angry girl rock scene, which is pretty hilarious. And there's also a lively dance scene that comes before it, like near the middle section of the film that I really liked. Those are like the two most high energy songs. That's probably why I like them so much. And the music is fun overall. It's good. They have some good instrumental stuff too. And I actually purchased the CD way back in the day, the CD soundtrack, and then I've listened to it quite a bit over the years. Now the characters in this are quirky but likable. The ghosts have like this restrained sense of lunacy. That's how I would describe it, if that makes any sense. But the comedy works, and there are a few laugh-out-loud moments. This does get fairly goofy at times, this movie, but it's difficult to think of many moments where it gets too out of control and gets irritatingly wacky. It mostly avoids that, I think, which is a big positive. Every ghost is given adequate time to shine multiple times, and the human protagonist kind of opens up even more during the second half, like personality-wise. And this is the film that made me a fan of Kim Kkob-bi as an actress. So she's put together a pretty nice resume of films after this. She does some collaborations in Japan with Japanese filmmakers, which I find quite interesting. And she does a great job of reacting to things in this film. She's very, very likable. And her mannerisms and facial expressions especially. And the supporting cast is great too. Some actors, I've seen multiple times over the years, and some less so. Now, in terms of criticisms, there are a few things that may not make total sense by the end of the film. Like, the ghosts are very human-like, and they can interact with other people like normal humans, which causes a little bit of confusion in terms of, like, their state of being, so to speak. Yeah, they're ghosts, but, like, it seems like they kind of transition from ghost to human, and it gets a little bit confusing, I think, in that. But that's a minor gripe for me. You just gotta go with it in this case. Pacing a little bit slow at times, and despite the fact that this is a family movie for the most part, there are a few very inappropriate lines of dialogue that just come out of nowhere. Only a few. But, yeah, as an adult, I'm pretty sure you'll find appreciation for that sense of humor when it pops up, because it's just like, it just comes out of nowhere, but it's really funny. So, and then, yeah, it's a horror film, but in terms of scares, this is not scary at all. Very consistent with the overall feel and what they're going for here, like just a classy, traditional type of feel. But there are a lot of thematic horror elements in this, like the setting, the themes, some of the plot lines and stuff like that. And there are a few creepy images here and there, like the vision that takes place on the beach. But for the most part, this is not a scary film. So I strongly recommend Midnight Ballad for Ghost Theater, if you can find it. The DVD has been long out of print, and it seems to be missing from all legitimate streaming sites. So you may need to go to like the dark web or whatever, or get a bootleg somewhere in order to watch this, but it's worth seeking out. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.